Hello and welcome to Teach Me English. This is your host Muhammad Sanaul Ansari. Today I have brought a topic, a shorter story with the name The Monkey's Paw by William Weimar Jacobs. This writer, William Weimar Jacobs, though I know you must have heard this name maybe first time, but he is very much famous for his horror story. We shall see in the story the supernatural element and his representation of horror. We shall see even that how this monkey's paw, which is a magical element, would change the life of people from a happy life to a life of sorrow. Let us proceed further, but you know very well we should first understand about the author so that we would be able to understand the mindset of the author in this story. William Weimar Jacobs was an English author and novelist. He was born in the year 1863, Middlesex in England. His father's name was William K. Jacob and mother as Sophia. You see, he went to college, that is Birkbeck College in England. His most important work is this, The Monkey's Paw, or Macabre Tale, means a tale of death. Other horror stories like Toll House and Jerry Burler, you can go for it. It will definitely quench your thirst for horror stories. Now, and unfortunately, he died in the year 1943, that is somewhat at the age of 80. But the most important thing is that a quotation came for him in the newspaper, The Times, is that quiet, gentle, and modest. Not fond of large functions and crowd, though he was a famous man, but he was not fond of crowds and large functions so that people would praise him, who would show their craze for him. No. He used to keep himself separate, and he led a life which is called down to earth life. Here we have some important word meanings, and we have many word meanings in fact, like radical. Radical means you can see most important or basic feature of something, that is called radical, and generally we use the word radical for changes. Radical changes means the most important changes are done. Peril, danger. Placid, calmly and quietly, that is fatal, deadly, dangerous. Amiably means friendly, in a good manner. Bold, shouted at someone. Torrent, violent flow. Intercept means, that is to stop someone from doing something, means divert someone from one thing. Hospitable, that is in a friendly manner even. Condoling means you are showing your sympathy towards someone, your pity for someone. Rubicund, reddish complexion of someone. Burly, tall and well-built person. Visage means facial expression. You show some differently, for different purpose we make different expression of face. Proffered, you offer someone something with the thought that someone would accept it. Offhandedly, it means abruptly, all of a sudden. Grimace, again it is the word for facial expression when you show your pain or your contempt, your hatred, your angriness. Blotchy, that is a spot on the face, or some blemish, means some spot, that is. Talisman means an object of magic, anything with the help of which you can do magic. Handpicked, very common word. Husband who is dominated by his wife. Maligned, that is evil intention. You have in your heart some evil thought for someone. It's called maligned. Dubiously, doubtfully, very simple. Credulity means you're believing without any proof, though you feel hesitation even. Marred means destroyed. Now prosaic, that is simple, straightforward, without any complexity. That's called prosaic. Wholesomeness, healthy. Shriveled, another word for wrinkle. Betokened, signified. Good thing that we will learn some new words also. Frivolous means silly, trivial, without any use. Scurrying means, that is scampering, moving here and there fast, means in search of something, to look for something. Interposed means interfere. Inaudible means you are unable to hear something properly. Liability means it's your responsibility. That's called liability. Cemetery, a place to bury a dead body, definitely. Subdued means under control, means you are overpowered by someone. Dozed, that is half sleep, slight sleep. Marveling, surprising, astonishing. Hysterically, being in a mad way. Mutilated, that is blown into pieces, cut into pieces, something destruction actually. Important characters are here, very less. Mr. White, he is the central character. He is the father of Herbert and he met the wishes. Mrs. White, the wife of Mr. White, her name is Elizabeth. Herbert White, he is the son of Mr. White and he would die because of the wish. Sergeant Major Maurice, he is the person who had brought the monkey's paw in the family of Whites. Place Laburnum Villa, it is the name of the house. What is the important event about the story? It is that there is a monkey's paw and monkey's paw can grant wish. And what is the function of it? How does it work? 3 separate men can make 3 wishes. Each of them can make 3 wishes. 3 separate wishes they can do. And finally it has come to Mr. White family. Here we shall see what wishes they make and what consequences they face. The story is divided into 3 divisions. So the first one, Mr. White and his son Herbert White, both of them were at chess, playing chess. But Mrs. White, means the wife of Mr. White and the mother of Herbert, she was knitting, sitting calmly near the fireplace, and she was in the middle, talking to them, interfering to in their business when they're playing the game. Now, and she is supporting her son. So, father, Mr. White, while playing, he caught in some problem and he made some difficult or he made some wrong move. So he is trying to do some unethical changes, moves in the game of chess. But his son understood and he instantly did him checkmate. So when they were talking about it, definitely the son was making fun of him, and father, he was talking of different things about the place they live in. He told that this place is not suitable for them, it is in the part of jungle. Okay, so but mother understood that he was trying to divert the mind of his son so that he could do some changes, though it didn't happen. So when they ended the game, then Sergeant Major Maurice, he appeared in the scene. And he appeared in the scene, and he is a man, he is very much acquainted in the family, and he is the man to whom everyone in the family, all of these 3 people, they admired him a lot. Now, so he was a tall and muscular man. Definitely he is a sergeant major, it means he is an army military, so he must be a muscular man with beady eyes, means not very big eyes, small eyes, beady eyes, and ruddy countenance, means reddish color of the face or red spot on the face. So what happened here, that 20 years ago, when he was youth, he used to stay in the warehouse. 20 years ago he left that place. He got the job, different places he went for his job purpose. He was in army, so definitely he must be having difficult work, difficult tasks. So after 20 years, definitely he is in a position to meet his people. So he came to White's house and they sat there. They offered him whiskey and even they offered him tea. So he drank 3 glasses of whiskey. After drinking it, he started speaking about his experiences. And he told about his distant places and strange places which he visited. He talked about wild scenes, wars, plagues in different countries, diseases, and strange people in different places and countries. So the family would listen to his stories with rapt attention, with full attention when he stopped for a while. So Mr. White, he revealed his desire to visit India because Sergeant Major Maurice, he spoke about India, about the people of India, about the mystery of India. So he wanted to visit India, Mr. White, because he wanted to visit old temples. He wanted to meet fakirs and jugglers. These things, he thought that these things were lacking in his country, England. So he thought that he must visit India to view all these things, to see something different, something strange. Mr. White, at that instant, he raised the topic of monkey's paw because Sergeant Major Maurice, he had already spoken about this monkey's paw to Mr. White. So this day when he was at his home, Sergeant Maurice was at his home. So Mr. White raised the topic of monkey's paw, which was desiccated, means dried to a mummy, means it's a mummified paw, and it has magic charm put on it. It is enchanted, and it was done in India. That's why Mr. White wanted to visit India, a land of mystery. It was enchanted by an old fakir in India. This Mr. Maurice came to know from the person who had given him. Mr. Maurice was not the first person to get that monkey's paw. He was the second person. What is the purpose of doing this? What is the purpose of making this monkey's paw enchanted? The fakir wanted to show, what is the motive? Say the show that those who interfered with their fate. Many people were not happy with our fate. We don't think that whatever is happening with us is happening for good. We don't think that our life which we are living is better. So we want to change our fate. So we want something to change our fate. Some definitely some must be magic. Definitely want something magical that which would change our life. So the fakir wanted to show the people that those people who wanted to interfere in the fate, means who wanted to interfere in the logic which God has created for us, what will happen? Those people ended up in great loss and sorrow. So whenever human being, they want to change their fate by the help of such things like magic and all these things, they end their life in sorrow and loss. Definitely you can change your fate by hard labor, by sincerely working hard. You can do this thing, but if you want to change it in an easy way with the help of magic or something which you think it's better for your life, you definitely could end your life in sorrow or loss. This is what the motive of the fakir, and he did this with the motive. He had enchanted the monkey's paw so that people would take help from monkey's paw, and they would understand that the wish come true is a thought, is not actually to be applied in our life. Now, so Sergeant Maurice informed Mr. White that the first man who received the paw, okay, he made 3 wishes, because each man can make 3 wishes. Now, so he made 3 wishes, but the last wish was the death. And this is how Sergeant Major Maurice got this paw, and he had also wished, but he did not reveal what were the wishes he made. But he was quite serious and afraid. It means the wishes which Sergeant Maurice made for himself must have destroyed his life. And what he did, Mr. Maurice, he threw the paw in the fire to destroy it, so that it must not destroy anybody's life anymore. But instantly, Mr. White snatched it, took it out from the fire, and secured the paw. And he told that definitely if you don't, Mr. White told Mr. Maurice, if he did not want, he must give it to Mr. White. And Mr. Maurice, definitely Mr. Maurice had already asked his 3 wishes, so that monkey's paw was of no use for him. Mr. White paid him some money, and Maurice gave it to him, but he also instructed again to throw it to the fire Otherwise, it would create a great havoc and mess in the life of Mr. White. This was the instruction, this was the advice given by Major Maurice to Mr. White. And Major Maurice, he had to leave the home because he had to catch the last train. When Maurice was there, Mrs. White, she, for a joke, she told that she must get 4 extra hands so that she would be able to do household chores very well. This was a fun, though when Mr. Maurice left the home, so Herbert, as a fun again, he told that we must ask the what call this monkey's paw to make us emperor. Though it was also a joke, but Herbert seriously told his father to wish for 200 pounds. Why? So that they might be able to clear the loan of their house. So it was some sensible thing about Herbert. We could see that Herbert is a boy who is a fun-loving boy. He used to make fun and prank with his father, and he is so sensible that he did not wish anything else except their need. Now, Mr. White held the paw in his hand and right hand. It is the process only that he must hold it in his right hand, and he said, I wish for 200 pounds. Mother and son, they thought that there would be the rain of money or the sudden crash of the money falling down from the roof, but did not happen so. Rather, the monkey's paw fell down. How? That as father wished for 200 pounds, means he made a first wish. The paw, what happened? The paw got twisted in his hand like a snake, and Mr. White got afraid and he left the paw. It fell down. Though he told this thing, but nobody believed him. They thought it's just a joke he was making because money did not come, and they thought it was just a prank Mr. Maurice made with them. Nothing happened like that, and that night definitely they went to sleep. Even this Herbert made fun, and he told his father that you would go to sleep and you would find that money must be kept on their bed in a bundle. They went to sleep, but Herbert he sat near the fireplace for a while. That night he told next day that night was not usual for him. It was quite heavy night for him. The wish was not yet granted. Second part. Next morning, Mrs. White, she made a comment that all soldiers just lie. They don't speak truth. They make people fool. I kept this thing in present tense only, not in past tense. Why? Because it is something she wanted to speak in a general truth, or maybe in a universal truth she wanted to speak. That's why I kept this thing in the present tense. Now, why? Because they did not receive the money. The wish was not granted. Herbert left the home because he had to go for his work at Moore and Megan is the name of the company where he used to work. Okay, and Mrs. White, she was a scampering when she was moving here and there because she saw a postman, and the postman knocked at the door. She went there and she thought that the money would have come. The postman had brought the money, but it was just the tailor's bill. So anyhow, the day was passed and the evening approached, but their son Herbert did not come. Rather, one man came at the gate, but the man was hesitating to enter into the house. This was noticed by Mrs. White, and she went out and brought the man in and inquired about him. What was he doing there? The man told that he came from Moore and Megan, and that was a surprising thing for both father and mother. And Herbert did not come, whereas the other man from that company had come. And he informed that their son Herbert was caught in the machinery and died. It was a great shock for those two old people, and he was the only son for them. But the company did not take any responsibility. So, as a token of sympathy, the company would pay them the sum of 200 pounds. There is the tragedy. The money had come. The wish was granted, but taking the life of Herbert. They got their desired sum, but in such a natural way that nobody would believe that it would be a wish that came true. Listening to this amount, the family was struck in awe and fear that they had lost their son because of this greediness, because of this money. So we can understand also that what greediness can do to us. The third part. Father and mother, both of them were old. They buried their son in the cemetery at that age, old age, and the cemetery was 2 miles away from their home. Mother was looking out of the window and she was believing that her son might come anytime. That definitely we can understand the feeling of mother. The father has accepted that his son was dead because he has seen his dead body. And it was cold outside. Father told that she might catch cold. Instantly, the mother thought that her son must be feeling the same in the grave. There was no one to take care of him. All of a sudden, an evil idea occurred in her mind. What? She demanded her husband to bring the monkey's paw because 2 more wishes were left, and she would wish for her son to back to life again. And this is something which is scary. And this must not be happen. When they asked for the first wish was granted in a natural way, that his son died. Even Maurice told White that the wish would be granted in a natural way, in such a way that it won't look like a wish. But here his son is dead and asking for his life again. Definitely the monkey's paw would grant the wish, but definitely you can understand what would happen. His son won't come, his ghost will come. Now, Mr. White was hesitating at the time. He knew it had been 10 days that his son died, and when he went to see his body, he could not recognize him except looking his clothing. Still, she forced him. Though he went for the monkey's paw, he brought it because he knew that his son was mutilated, because his body was caught in the machinery. It was cut into pieces. So he knew what would come. Though he brought the paw and he made the wish, what his wife desired, to bring back the dead son. Nothing happened instantly. Everything was quite like it happened first time. Nothing happened instantly. Mother was hopeless and father was relieved. Mother was waiting, looking at the window for her son to come. At that time, what happened? The candle went off and father went out of the room, means he went down the stair to get a new candle. When he went down to get a new candle, to fetch a new candle, he heard knockings at the door. He ignored, but the knocking increased gradually. Mrs. White heard those knocking sound and she went down to open the gate. Though she first told her husband, but he did not want to do so, and he tried to stop her, but she did not listen. She went to the door and she wanted to let her son get into the home, but she was unable to open the top bolt. Her hand was not reaching there. She opened the bottom bolt. She opened the chain which was fixed there with the gate. She did this thing, but she was unable to open the top bolt. She asked her husband to do so, but he refused. What she did, she brought a chair. She got on the chair to open the bowl. At that time, Mr. White, he was looking over, searching for the paw, and he got the paw. As Mrs. White was about to open the gate, Mr. White made the third wish, and as he made the third wish, the knocking sound stopped. abruptly. She opened the gate. There was no one, only the street light was flickering on the quiet and deserted road. Mr. White was relieved. First, see the moral. Greediness makes people slave of their lust and brings tragedy in their life. This is a great fact. When we become greedy, we actually bring tragedy in our life. And we actually destroy ourselves. Now the thing is, the author had kept us in dilemma. Who was knocking at the door? Was it really Herbert's ghost or Herbert himself? And what was the third wish? Look for the answer. If you get these two answers, please comment me in the comment box. I would like to know your views. I hope you have liked the story and have understood everything in detail. You will definitely get this PDF in the description box. I would come back again with a new video, even in a new way. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.